Uh-oh. I ain't had no volumes up on there. I like that, though. Y'all know what it is. It's Keep It Pete podcast where we take news, situations, everyday occurrences. Indeed, we show how one could have and could not have been keeping it Pete. Not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think. That's the reason why we bust down articles, what to do. And we talking about money. See, you got to understand the fear tactics going on out here. First is fentanyl in the weed now. You can't buy no weed on the street because it got fentanyl in it. So here they go with scare tactic number 2 on the bread side of the game. Don't hold your money stored in Venmo and other payment apps because it could be vulnerable during the financial crisis. Well, man, yeah, y'all done killed the CEO of everybody. Like, what happened? Like, y'all trying to force everybody to Fed now? Y'all know in case y'all haven't known, the Fed is opening up their own little money app where they want to monitor everybody's transactions, some real draconian. Uh, the model actually already exists over in China. Right now in China, they have it set up through somewhat sort of a Facebook sort of kind of thing. It's like a a real life social media where your social media is connected to your real life, like your paper. So they got cameras everywhere. For example, say you jaywalk, right? Before you get across the street on the jaywalk side of the game, they done already deducted the ticket for you jaywalking out of your account, and they done deducted your social score. And your social score on
What?
the app determines what you got access to. So if you got a bad social score, you don't get good jobs, you don't get good housing, you can't buy or go certain places with a messed up social app because over there they be on cashless society. Everything is touched. They got stores where you go in and you don't even gotta pull out your phone because the little 5G recognized the joint in your pocket, and everything you grab off the shelf is automatically deducted from your account once you leave from behind the register with the items. Like once you go through the store and leave behind this certain point, you're charged. You don't even gotta, nothing happens, you charged. You go, you get sent the email, the receipt, text the receipt, blah blah blah. They're they got them on lock over there. Obviously, though, that's more of a communist society where there's like totalitarian control, which there's enough white people with guns over here, thankfully, that we don't necessarily have to worry about that. However, if it means doing whatever they got to do to get rid of them Negroes, man, they might give up all the guns. They be like, man, we just might have to just fight it out. It's enough of us. We might just have to go massacre them with sticks and torches and pitchforks. You know, they used to doing that kind of thing. I
Right,
don't,
right, right,
it,
right.
I don't know what that has to do with money, but it has a lot. Um, it's all fear tactics. But they say customers of Venmo, PayPal, Cash App should not store their money within those apps for a long term because the funds might not be safe during a crisis, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said on Thursday. The alerts come several weeks after the failure for Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic Bank, which all experienced bank runs after fear for customers' uninsured deposits pulled their money in mass. It says the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insured bank deposits up to 250,000, but money stored in Venmo, Cash App, Apple Cash is not being held in a traditional bank. So, if there's any similar run with those payments, people can find that those funds may not be protected. Well, that's a different story. I don't think that's fear. I think that's actually just kind of. I mean, it's fear in the same token because they wasn't highlighting that before, but now I think it's fear because they're saying, "Now look now." But then, how you gonna sit up here and tell me that regular banks failed, and you want me to take my money off the Cash App and the Venmo, what, put it in the regular bank? Ain't the volatility on both sides? What if you got more than $250,000? Do now you got to spread it out between multiple banks? Well, that's something you should do anyway. If you got more, you should.
But then that's more chance that you could get the bing bing because
The
you're in more banks, they're giving you more opportunities for a bank to fail.
That's right. It says some funds may be eligible for a pass through insurance coverage if the customers do a certain activities with these apps. The CFPB said that generally, by default, the apps are not covered by deposit insurance. For example, if a customer opens a PayPal savings account and it would like to deposit insurance through PayPal's partner bank, Synchronicity Bank, but the general PayPal account is not covered by insurance, for Cash App, which can be insured through Green Dot Bank, it requires a user to verify their identity to go get deposit insurance. We find that stored funds can be at risk of loss in an event of financial distress or failure of an entity operating on a non-bank payment platform, and often are not placed in an account at a bank or credit union and lack individual deposit insurance coverage. Consumers may not fully appreciate when or under what conditions they be protected by deposit insurance, the agency added. Peer-to-peer payment apps and non-bank offering payment like services have exploded in popularity in the last decade. Venmo now has more than 90 million users and recently announced that it is going to allow parents to create accounts for their teenage children, potentially bringing in tens of millions of new customers for the app. And that's what they don't like. They want you to be stuck on the traditional mode of pay and payment, the good old banking system where they got control of things. I think, with the invent of all this access, they're losing hold and they losing grip on society. Or let's not forget, white supremacy takes both sides. They definitely can be funding both because they ultimately both go towards the same goal, which is a cashless society. So you gotta consider that.
That's
Last,
it right there. No,
yeah.
that is it. Deposit insurance? Hold on, we ain't gonna skip over that. I've never heard of having deposit insurance.
Well, because it's automatically on one of your accounts, but with the invent of these new apps, and they're not necessarily being stored in banks and technically within their own infrastructure, the infrastructure itself isn't being covered by the standard AFDC mandates of the 250,000. So, I mean, they got a point. I would say it's not as much fluff as it seems. I mean, it is a heed to take or to be cautious of, but
I'm hearing it's a scam, like a scheme,
what, to get
like you
everybody to
said
put all
though.
their monies back into regular banks?
Bam, like you said. No, to go yep, to go cashless, period.
I mean, because it's either way. Either you own these apps, which is cashless, or you in the bank, which is finna be cashless. Cashless,
Same
cashless,
thing.
cashless. Says tens of millions of American consumers and small businesses rely on payment apps to better spend, manage, and save their money. It says these accounts are safe and transparent, with users receiving FDIC insurance on their accounts depending on the products that they use and associate with. Well, just be smart about your money, y'all. Um, the way I do it, I got money in a whole bunch of different accounts. I don't got money in just all one account. I got one account that got all the direct deposits. I got one account that pays the credit cards. I got one account that comes, from the spending. You got to have accounts, man. You just got to have accounts. Nowadays, everybody probably got at least like 6, 7 accounts. I know I do. Definitely. But I ain't going to hold you. I'm a mold you, fold you, and scold you about being. Hey, look, here go a couple of them right here. Look, this one, this two, this three, 4, 5, and 6. This is just six accounts right here in my hand. Sure, they
I
got.
know when I'm buying property, they was like, well, you don't really want to have more than 3 bank accounts. You don't really want to have more than that now.
Oh,
You really,
I got two bank accounts though, but I was looking at a third one actually, another credit union. So it's not better, not good to have more than three, huh?
That's what they said. Now, I haven't done the full research. I'm simply telling you what the folks said. They'll
Not
tell you anything.
right. Well, they got 17 of them.
You understand what I'm trying to told you.
Yeah. Well, they got 17 of them. All right. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm gonna mold you, fold you, scold you about being on code. And I got 4 words for you. It starts with the love. It has the double peace, the double meaning. It has the blessings, and then it also has the aloha. You know that I am out the door for sure. You already